Schwa. Now that, my friends, is something I can celebrate.
Way!
So it is what it is. 1 week may be good, 1 week maybe, you know, the rest. Big up to everybody inside. We are smoking that Lons pack.
Go on, Lee. Go on, Lee.
This might be the last cigarette I have for a few days. I've got a wisdom tooth being taken out
Give
tomorrow.
up, really. Give up smoking.
Apparently, you're not allowed to smoke for a little while. But listen, big up to everybody inside, man. Listen, can you see how happy I am? Look at my vibes. Vibes FC. We're on the Suaves. Big up. Suaves. Pack. 6-0. Celebration settings. Flew as you're in the bin. And I know you're going to clip this as well.
Hey, I didn't know this was happening.
You are in the bin. How?
What have I done?
Dare you do me dirty like that? How dare you do me dirty like that? Yeah, picking that 29's goal,
Kai Havertz,
as the clip you put out on your Twitter account. You absolute wrong'un. Yeah,
it's because it's funny. It was funny seeing you hide under your hoodie. It was funny. I find it hilarious. I will say this for Lee. I know he's not everybody's cup of tea. He did celebrate the other goals as far as I see. I find it funny that he doesn't celebrate Kai Havertz. I don't get it. I don't understand it, but I find it funny because I don't think it's that deep. But the amount of people coming for him online has been a joke. The things people are saying to him is an absolute joke. And people have to calm down. Even myself, I'm looking at it as I don't even want to banter him at the minute because people are turning it into nastiness. So I get where he's coming from there. But for me personally, you're my boy. We have a show together. It's a bit of a laugh, but it was funny seeing you hide under that hoodie when he scored.
you wrong'un. The other 5, go and clip. In fact, I'll clip them myself. Cheers.
They're not funny to me. They're just normal. Anyway,
smash the likes up. Kenny.
Of course, smash the like buttons on this video. Subscribe to the Terrace as well, people. Get it done.
Jez, Matty, player ratings. The vibes are endless tonight. That was a proper performance. Like, real talk. Yeah, real talk. I'm just going to get it out of the way real quick. Tomiyasu, man of the match. I know we got subbed at halftime, but Tomiyasu, man of the match. That guy, that was his best performance ever since he's got to this football club. Yeah, that was his best performance ever. Yeah, I don't know what he done today. He was just on smoke. Yeah, he was on smoke. That first 25 minutes, yeah, that was throwback to this lot behind me. Yeah, this great 5 players behind me. It was a throwback to that. It was a throwback to that. That first 25 minutes is exactly what I've wanted to see all season. Why can't we do that every week?
And listen, Lee always gives credit where credit's due. And a lot of people don't think he does. Maybe not with Kai Havertz, but he generally does. And I get his point of view. I think more of this football is coming for Arsenal. Big up Lee. And I wanted to share this today because I don't just clip him when he's not when he's having a mare, but when he's angry or he's frustrated. Big up Lee for that. Make sure like buttons have been hit, people. Make sure you are subscribing to the Terrace. And who's up next?
No problemo.
Who's inside this Onana bum, bro? Like, listen, I've tried to stay balanced on this goalkeeper, bro. You are crap. You are crap. I've tried to be balanced. Do you know what I'm saying? I've tried to be balanced, bro. Do you know what I mean? Two things can be true. De Gea was crap, but so are you. You're not an upgrade on De Gea, bro. You're just as crap as he is, bro. You're just crap in a different way, blood. Do you know what I mean? You're both, it's just a different smell, blood. It's just a different stench, you know?
Someone sent me this clip and I thought to myself, Rance is so right. I've got the Onana thing wrong. I've tried to stay balanced. I've tried to stay positive. I've watched him at Ajax. I've watched him for many years. I've watched a lot of him last year at Inter. I was so excited about him coming in. But he's got weak wrists. His wrists are like pompadoms. His distribution for Man United has been as bad, in my opinion. As bad, in my opinion, as David De Gea. He's zero upgrade whatsoever. We haven't improved in that area. And in my personal opinion, his mistakes in the Champions League are why we're going out. We've got big problems overall. There's still a mentality issue. There is still the ability to see out leads. We still have a problem of collapsing. I'm not negating all of that. But in the Champions League, the volume of mistakes the consistency of mistakes, he has absolutely killed us. There's no doubt about it in my mind. I'm saying this to myself, taxi for me, bruv.
United draw 3-3 with Galatasaray and effectively are probably heading out of the Champions League. Look, I make no apologies for this. Sometimes you've got to say it. That's on the manager. And it's not. You know what? Interestingly.
On the manager. Let's listen to what Mark's got to say. I want to get your opinions on this, people. Leave your comments below.
It's not actually just the goalkeeper. Now that I've had 2 minutes to just storm around my house and try and calm down, the goalkeeper has completely screwed us today, 100%. And you've got to look at Ten Hag for that as much as you've got to look at the goalkeeper. But also, I'm going to call out people like McTominay. I'm going to call out people in the defence for kicking long balls for an hour. We could have won that game 8-0. I don't understand how we've played Galatasaray home and away and taken 1 point from 6. They literally play with a front 6 and a back 4. They give you so much space. Man City, Liverpool and Arsenal would hit double figures against Galatasaray.
It's interesting because I woke up this morning. My best friend stayed around last night, and I woke up this morning. He's at A feeling after the football. That I've reflected, and I'm still angry at Onana. I'd be happy for him to be sold. But I agree with what Mark's saying here. It's brutal. Some people will hate what he's saying, but it's true. The manager made so many mistakes yesterday. Again, I know McTominay scored, but for the rest of the game, non-existent. Taking off Amrabat for Kobe when it should have been McTominay coming off, and you bring in Kobe with Amrabat and you put a double pivot and you control the ball more. You create a blockade. Why we were knocking it long so regularly was crazy to me. And still, I know the goalkeeper made mistakes, but our inability as a team, which I believe is predicated by the manager and how he sets us up and how he makes us feel, because you credit managers when teams have great mentalities. Therefore, when you have a poor one, you have to look at the manager. How we crumble in adversity is on him. It isn't just that Onana situation. So as much as I think people will have a go at Goldbridge, go, no, you can't blame the manager. He's coached many wins in the Champions League. Yes, individual mistakes have happened, but his inability to coach the players and develop the players, have the mentality to withstand those mistakes and problems is an issue. You ever seen that meme of like that crisp or chip, whatever country you're from, that's like pretending to be a door lock and you know it's just going to break as soon as you push it? That's Man United's mentality when things start to go wrong. And for me, I think Mark's right. You have to look at the manager here as much as you do Onana. It's as simple and as straightforward as that for me. It really is.
And Rice can do defensively, and I look at also what he can do driving forward. I think driving forward he's better than Rodri. Yeah, you might say Rodri's a better footballer in terms.
That's a big. I want to hear that again. Did I hear that wrong? Man like Dan Potts.
Because I look at what Declan Rice can do defensively, and I look at also what he can do driving forward. I think driving forward he's better than Rodri. Yeah, you might say Rodri's a better footballer in terms of that position. I think he's the best in the world. But actually, when you look at as a footballer what Declan Rice can do, he can do what Rodri can do, and he can actually drive a football forward. There was a couple of times where you sometimes want him to do a little bit more of it, and he gets into a position where you think, don't stop, and he does. So sometimes I think he could go even more.
What do you make of that? When it comes to driving the ball forward, is Declan Rice better than Rodri? Is there any element of Declan Rice that is better than Rodri? It's a hard one. Rodri's amazing. Rodri has speed, power, technique. I wouldn't say he's the best at driving the ball forward. He can be very good in the attacking elements, especially when it comes to picking up important goals. He's got a very good goal ratio for a defensive midfield player. Scored some massively important goals. But Declan Rice is class. He really is. And defensively, distribution, tempo, winning the ball back. It's just, for £100 million is one of the best deals I've ever seen done in football for a player like that. And now with Arsenal's attacking players, if they can keep clicking into gear, if they can find their feet, Declan Rice is going to look even better. Because the amount of times he wins the ball back and then distributes it into the attacking players, if they then start to turn that into goals, it creates a different view of what Declan Rice is doing. It's a little bit unfortunate because he's doing his job irrespective of the forwards creating the chances and scoring. but he's quality. But on what Dan Potts is saying here on AFTV, is he better at going forward than Rodri? I want to get your views and I want to get your opinions on that, people.
David De Gea in his first season when he was Man United goalkeeper covered himself in glory. There was this constant criticism of him about his inability to get crosses, his inability to do certain things. Yet here we are talking about David De Gea being brought back in. And also David De Gea having a very successful tenure at Man United post the first season. This guy came in with a great reputation. They're ridiculing it, saying they came in because he was good with his feet, but it's his bloody hands that saved the ball. He's made plenty of saves. He saved them in the game against Copenhagen at Old Trafford.
But he's made plenty of mistakes as well,
goalkeepers make mistakes.
Undeniably.
But goalkeepers do make mistakes.
Yeah.
They don't make mistakes on level, though, that consistency. I think it's 7 or 8 mistakes, errors leading to goals. That's the official stat. The first goal we conceded yesterday, that doesn't count as an error. But we all know in reality it is. So it's one of those flawed stats where, well, I saw an additional error there. When the bad back pass that he made that led to the penalty against Galatasaray that brought them, they actually missed, by the way, but it led to Casemiro being sent off. That doesn't count as an error on statistics that led to a goal, but it essentially did. It was a huge catalyst in the game. And I know a lot of us focus on the passing ability of Onana. And do you know why we did that? And this is being so misrepresented. I didn't think, I knew that he was never going to be as good as David De Gea at his peak at shot stopping, because I think David De Gea is one of the best I've ever seen at his peak at shot stopping. But I thought he was of a top class level where we wouldn't be having these conversations about fairly simplistic shots and crosses beating him and becoming goals. And what I think has happened is that because of those mistakes and the pressure, his distribution has suffered. I think his confidence is gone. And it's become a sort of a cycle for him now. And I look at it this way. You can't blame everything that's gone wrong this season on David De Gea. That's an overstatement. Sorry, on Onana. I don't think you can say that if we'd have kept David De Gea, we wouldn't have seen these mistakes, because he was making very bad mistakes last year. Onana isn't the reason we are where we are, but he is a problem and it should be called out. There's no doubt about it. So I understand what Simon Jordan is coming from, but it has to be called out. We can't just brush it to the side and say the manager's bad, therefore the player can't be criticized. That's crazy to me. But as ever, people, look, I want your views. I want your opinions. Please hit the like button. Go check out our TikTok as well. Scan the QR code on the screen. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll